back to the Super Smokers Barbecue Halftime Report. Super Smokers Barbecue is the best queue in St. Louis. We are at the half of our first quarterfinal game. Hello to the passionate fans on hand watching Southern Illinois beat Indiana State by a score of 26-18. Southern Illinois, the Salukis, using a 12-2 run to close out the first half, and they take a 26-18 lead on the Sycamores as we get ready for the final 20 minutes of this first quarterfinal matchup. Taking a look at the numbers, basket's been at a premium at this one. Defense, top of the line. Shots, struggling. SIU shooting just 38%, while the Sycamores are shooting 24%. The Salukis have used the three ball in the latter part of the first half to take their lead. Free throws, keep an eye on this in the second half. Indiana State has been to the line 9 times, and that's because the Salukis have 18 fouls, including 3 on Tony Young and 2 on Randall Falker. If that could benefit them, it might come in the portion of the fouls on SIU in the second half. Right now, it's 26-18. Southern Illinois, the number 1 seed, losing Indiana State 26-18. We are at the Arch Madness in St. Louis.
The Missouri Valley Conference famous alum is Kevin Little of Drake, a native of Ankeny, Iowa. Little was a record-setting performer for the Bulldog track team, winning 9 Valley championships. He also was a gold medalist in the 200-meter dash at the World Indoor Championships. Little twice named the outstanding performer at the Drake Relays. When considering loan options for your education, be sure to call 1-800-6-MOHELA, and you too may someday be a famous Missouri Valley Conference alum.
The State Farm Missouri Valley Men's Tournament is brought to you by Budweiser. Bright, crisp, clean, and pure, the king of beers. By Edward Jones, making sense of investing. By ConAgra Foods, we set America's table at home and away. By Pepsi Cola, the official soft drink of the Missouri Valley Conference. And by Jeep, trail-rated capability only in a Jeep 4x4.
Back in St. Louis, 26-18, Southern Illinois leading Indiana State. Tom Ackerman is with the Valley's Rolls-Royce. Royce Waltman.
Thanks, guys. Coach, 24% shooting in the first half, yet you're down 8 points.
Well, you know, Southern plays great defense, but I really do think we missed a lot of open shots, particularly in around the basket. And we've just got to not let their pressure bother us so much that we can't knock a few in.
What about their guard play? Tough sometimes with Brooks, Tatum, everybody driving to the bucket. They really can penetrate.
Oh, yeah, they're very good. But, I mean, they have 26. It's not they're very good, but the defensive end is not our problem.
Thanks for the visit.
Sponsoring our visit with the coaches, an innovative health management company empowering members to make healthy choices. Mercy Health Plans, the way we care, makes all of the difference. Mitch Holt is back courtside along with Coach Charlie Spooner. You can't fault Indiana State's effort, but we also have seen in the first half how explosive Southern Illinois can be at times.
Well, Southern Illinois will hit some threes, but they also, their defense, particularly with Brooks, Tatum, they jar the ball loose and they get 2 runouts. And in a game like this, that's big.
Darren Brooks, 10 points right now to lead all scores.
Well, and Indiana State's getting nothing in terms of points from Adler and from Moss and from Gray, and they have 0 field goals from those guys, and they're still in this ball game here.
There you see Indiana State decided to go to Amani Danish inside. That's why he's got 7. However, their leading scorer for the year, David Moss, has shot just 1 time. He's 0 for 1.
And he shot that in the last minute of the half and didn't force that.
He's trying to get a shot here right away. That's 2 attempts now in the first seconds of the second half.
All right, you said early in the game, you suppose they talked about getting the ball inside. Do you suppose we talked about getting Moss started? Because he was aggressive as a Dickens right there.
I'm sure Royster looked at the chart and said he shot 1 time.
I think Royce already knew that without looking.
Indiana State now has to be careful to keep this thing within upset range. Hairston can get going. Boy, he struggled too shooting. Tatum with athleticism to set it up for Josh Warren's first points.
And that's the thing. Those are the type plays that people miss because there's no stat for that other than just say a hustle play by Tatum. But that's worth 2 points.
It also shows you Southern Illinois guards play bigger.
There's no question. Brooks is on so many occasions the top rebounder for his ball club.
Hairston fouls. It's his first foul.
Hairston's getting open looks today, Mitch, and the ball doesn't look very good, at least to this point, coming out of his hand.
Southern Illinois has been dominant in this league. The last 3 years, the Salukis are 48-6. 4 consecutive Valley regular season titles, but no Arch Madness championships. Gabriel Moore. Again, Gray uses the extra pass. Donish. And Royce Waltman's wondering what I got to do to throw it in the goal.
Well, the ball's been under the basket for both teams and not much to show for it.
10-point lead. There's going to be a foul on the three-point attempt. This is going to be on Gray, popping Tatum to the floor. 3 free throws for Tatum.
You know, you might wonder, well, you know, Stetson Harrison's not shooting the basketball, missing threes. Why is he in the game? Well, he's in the game because he's guarding Gray, and Gray still is 0 for field goals.
Tatum, a 75% shooter at the line.
He shot that and he followed the ball right up there. It didn't look as though he thought that. Must not have felt right coming out.
Well, you mentioned what, a week ago we were in Carbon. That seems like a long time ago. But he hit everything. He could throw it over his head backwards and make it.
And he had, remember how much enthusiasm and how he looked so fresh for this point in the year. He's in very good condition.
Very athletic, like most of these Salukis. You see, it's 2 of 3 at the line. All of a sudden, it's a 12-point lead.
The first 5 minutes of the second half is very, very important for Indiana State.
Nice skip. Gabriel Moore just inside. Oh, it's a 3. Stayed outside on the release, and Gabriel Moore has got a 3-pointer.
Oh, Salukis changed their ideas defensively and started helping down. And they're going to have to find a way to rotate back.
Second 3-pointer of the game for Indiana State. A reminder that every day more than 36 million Americans are at risk of hunger. The Missouri Valley Conference recognizes the Tedesco Foundation in their efforts to eliminate hunger. To learn more about how you can help, go to the website helpstophunger.org. Helpstophunger.org.
Was that foul on Shaw, Nick, posting up?
It was on Hairston. Hairston's got his second foul this half.
Brooks, excuse me, Mitch, a near turnover after the steal by Brooks. Great steal, and then just has a presence of mind just to slow down and make the play.
32-21, 11-point lead. Gray pulls and hits. And he can do that. That's his first points of the game. This kid had 29 against Drake and 24 against Illinois State.
Well, if he gets started, he can find shots. And he can get his own shot.
He had 13 in your game Monday night in this matchup. Hairston finally drains him.
I think possibly Gray thought that Hairston wasn't going to make any today and didn't take him quite as hard as he usually does because he's a good defender also.
First make for Hairston. Gray says, why not? Now we got a 3-point war going on.
Everybody wanted points at the end of this half.
8-point lead for Southern Illinois. 16:24 remaining in our first game of 4 here at Arch Madness. The next game should be a dandy, the 4 and 5 seeds. A little more Darren Brooks for you.
But here he is, just very alert. Helps on defense and uses his hands. Great hands. And under control. Puts it on the floor. Shot fake, puts it on the floor and hits.
Again, Brooks this year in his senior year set a Southern Illinois record for steals and 4th all time in the Valley in that category.
Moore got a little out of control in that last play, but he's playing with a lot of pressure on him today. I'm talking about defense.
Tatum on off the bench. Splashes it in there. He's got 4.
Owen did that in the ball game against Wichita State. Remember, he hit the mid-range jumpers that took the lead right on up.
He loves Arch Madness, averaging 15 points and 10 rebounds. In fact, he averaged 10 rebounds last year in 2 games.
the ball to the post with Owen Gardner. He spreads out. He's pretty good.
Gabriel Moore forcing Owen to force off the bench. It's going to be a held ball. Southern Illinois has got the arrow. Chris Lowry, not a happy camper on the Southern Illinois sideline. Did not like the call. 15:23 left in the game. Lowry's team is still up 10. Back in St. Louis, 10-point lead for Southern Illinois, the 1 seed. 15:23 remaining in the game. Let's look at our Nestle Purina scores and schedules from around the valley. It's our bracket brought to you by Purina Dog Food. Incredible dog food, incredible dogs. We saw Indiana State hold off of Bradley Riley last night, and then Drake was very impressive. Spoon drilled Evansville. And that 2-7 game, keep your eye on that one. Let's take a look at the last play and why Chris Lowry was not real tickled.
Here's the rebound right here, and Owen gets spread out a little bit, and you see a very quick jump ball. And Brad Gaston probably won't save that one for the archives, being the official.
10-point lead at 37-27. Seen a couple guys slip today. Falker had a chance there to go at the basket. Lost to Hairston. Strong move to the basket and an and one.
And what a nice pass, Mitch. That was a nice pass. And the thing that Southern has done on more than one occasion today, Brooks did it once, and now you're going to see it here. There's the movement. They keep moving. And there's Hairston with the foul. That's a nice play.
Hairston running by Schnitker. Moss gets the foul. And a chance for a three-point play for Hairston.
You mentioned people slipping. There's some pretty quick people out here. It's not like the old days when guys were playing with their PF Flyers and just had bad feet.
The old Chuck Taylors with the blue star.
Didn't get the trifecta then.
No. Had a couple from over there. He had his spot. Not this time.
Excuse me, Mitch. You know there's ice under the floor, and I guess that might have some bearing on what's going on.
This time Donish gets his own medicine. He'd been doing that in the first half. Falker just backed him down.
Falker could not have made that move in January, Mitch. That was a very, very fine play under control. Falker has been a real asset to this ball club.
Nothing's happening now for Indiana State. They got to be careful. They're down 15. Still a long way to go. Just a handoff. Here it is. Donish gets bumped by Owen. That's his third.
The thing that you try to do, particularly if you're Southern Illinois, you feel a little bit like we've got them going, and you get in an awful big hurry to make things happen, get your lead bigger, and sometimes you maybe get a little out of control.
David Moss scoreless. He was the freshman of the year in the Valley 2 years ago. Donish, however, is not. That is 9 for Amani Donish.
Donish finished that one, and I thought a smart play by Owen. He started to try to block the thing, and then he just said, nope, he's got me. I'm going to let him have it. I think sometimes people don't do that.
Dangerous pass by Tatum, leaving it out front near Gray. Second foul on Moss.
Here comes more reserves in for Southern Illinois. They've done a nice job of using their bench and keeping people fresh, as has Royce Waldman. He's trying to keep people fresh. He just doesn't have quite as many folks.
But you know it's interesting, Spoon. You look at the top 5 seeds in this tournament. Southern Illinois got a bench. Wichita State's got a bench. Creighton will use their bench. So will Northern Iowa, and so will Southwest Missouri State.
Well, that's when you've got a chance to be pretty good, particularly in the tournament setting, because you're going to play games in 2 days and 3 days. You're going to play a lot of ball.
42-29, 7 minutes into the second half. Southern Illinois with 12 bench points, 6 of those from Dale in the first half when they needed him. Ray, I'm not sure what that was, but Indiana State keeps it. A playground move. Indiana State will keep it with 23 to shoot.
I don't think Dale's shot, the last 3, I don't think was the one that his coach had drawn up and designed.
It's like, Coach, I hit those early when you needed them. You weren't yelling at me then. Adler pinning Shaw deep.
Good job of keeping his hands straight up and down there by Shaw.
Young. Schnitker for three.
It's not going for Schnitker.
No, it's not. Now he's got to guard Brooks. That's not a good feeling. Everybody was missing until the player of the year said, you know what, I'll kiss one in with a thin angle.
And that was not an easy shot. That was a tough shot right there. He earned that one.
7th player in this league to be back-to-back player of the year. But again, the only player to be twice defensive player and player of the year.
And all the good players Southern Illinois had.
Moss still with a big one.
Both these teams are trying to defend, so if you see a guy standing as Donish was then holding his pants legs, fatigue sets in.
Moss trying to hang with Brooks. 10 to shoot, and almost gets stuck.
Young's had a couple chances for baskets today, just haven't been able to finish the play.
Donish and an and one. Falker's going to be called for the foul. That's his third. Amani Donish in double figures with 11. Back with his free throw when we come back. But let's take a look more at the player of the year in the Valley. I think Mom wants to come into the game right here. She's suited up and waiting to come in. Let Grandma do the babysitting. 44-31 Southern Illinois. Reminder, if you're looking for this season's hottest styles, Aeropostale provides the hottest athletically inspired clothes for guys and girls. For store locations, go to the website aeropostale.com. AEROPOSTALE.com. Proud to sponsor the Valley. It is a 13-point lead for Southern Illinois, but Amani Donish has given it all he can for Indiana State.
Well, they've certainly looked for him enough today.
3-point play for Donish. He's got 12. He's 4 of 6 at the line. Donish is 4 of 10 from the field.
He stayed out of foul trouble today, too.
Walker right after Adler. And gets the bucket.
2 good moves. He's had the left-hand move turning in to his shoulder. That time he just drop steps for a basket.
Gabriel Moore, a little zoom.
Donish had a good hustle rebound and just couldn't complete it.
Dale for 3. He's got 9 in the game. Spoon on 3 threes.
That was more, I'm sure, to Chris Lowry's liking because it came standing after a penetration and pass by Falker. Falker's doing a lot of nice things.
49-32, biggest lead of the game for the Southern Illinois Salukis.
Defense is all over people. Good hustle, good effort by Southern.
This is usually the time of the game where you slow Donish. Little continuation. He'll use it and get 14 points.
Kind of slid through sideways, didn't it? A different move.
It's about the time, though, you see the effects of the night before. It's a quick turnaround. You play at 6 and you play at noon the next day.
Kind of a hard deal, and it gets harder if you go another game also.
Gabriel Moore's had a couple steals. Late whistle. Young's got his 4th foul, and Gabriel Moore's going to get free throws.
Well, this is the type of play Indiana State needs. Here you see the steal. pushes it down, draws the foul here, keeps the ball away from him, has his other arm up. Good officials. Well, maybe the continuation gets the whack on the leg.
Gabriel Moore, 5 team fouls now on Southern Illinois. Tony Young has to set down with his 4 fouls.
Young's had a hard day where he's had a couple fouls that he didn't quite agree with.
Tony Young at the Schaumburg. Gabriel Moore. Now this kid is a guy, he's a point guard. You look ahead to the days ahead for Indiana State. It'll be interesting to watch his progression in the offseason and if he can take the next step forward as a winning point guard in this league.
He's had ankle problems too. He plays a lot of minutes too. That's the thing.
From Little Rock. We're gonna get one, Spoon. There you go.
If they'd ever seen me shoot, they wouldn't have thrown it to me. That was a wasted pass there.
Chris Lowry goes, do not throw it to Spoon. 14-point lead for Southern Illinois at 8:38 remaining in the game.
And another new country heard from for Southern Illinois.
There's a 3. All I can say a 2. Eric Gray with a 2, and he's got 8 points.
Now you've got Foster in the ball game for Southern Illinois. That's just another fresh interior play.
While Indiana State just stays with Seabiscuit trying to pull the upset. Ooh, we got an injury here. Hairston's turned an ankle. Jerry Pollard's going to stop the game. Hairston with a little ankle turn. He was away from the ball.
Substitution for the Syracuse #1, Derek Brooks.
When Brooks is out of the game, occasionally the plays, ooh, that doesn't look good.
No, that doesn't look good. In fact, he grabbed the knee. They're looking at the quad.
They're smiling, so it must have been a bump. Must have been just like a Charlie horse, hopefully.
That doesn't feel good either.
No.
Warren. Nope, foul on Southern Illinois. This is going to be on Foster. Chris Lowry's team up by 12, fighting a little bit of a foul problem. The 1 seed's up by a dozen.
Welcome back to Arch Madness at the Savvis Center in St. Louis. Brought to you by State Farm Insurance. 49-37, Southern Illinois leads Indiana State. Time now for this date in history, brought to you by the Renaissance Grand Hotel, St. Louis. On March 5th, 1977, in the first ever State Farm Valley Tournament final, Mike Glenn of SIU scored a game-high 24 points to lead the Salukis to an 82-69 win over Maurice Cheeks and West Texas State. The Renaissance Grand Hotel, St. Louis, the official St. Louis hotel of the Missouri Valley Conference. Back courtside, Mitch Holtis and the coach, Charlie Spoonauer.
All right, Tim, I believe I can fly. This is I Believe. That's his name.
He had these whites on last night. He had his white cape. I think he was a little more animated last night.
Well, you know, fatigue not only hits the players, they hit the I Believe guy. He's probably up all night watching tape trying to figure out how he's going to pull this off. There he is now. He's trying to believe. He is still believing down 12.
He isn't, I'm telling you, last night he was upright most of the evening, though. He's been seated. Now he's happy.
Yeah, well, he's on camera. You can tease it now. Now he's fired up. David Moss, no points. Adler, a 3. His first points.
Indiana State's done a nice job of surviving. At one point, this game almost got away from them. Now they've got it to 9. And they're in the ballgame.
Little energy here, and that's going to be an illegal screen on Warren. That is the 7th team foul here now on Southern Illinois with 7:15 to go. There's Warren, a little pulling guard action here.
You can see here's Moss. He needs somebody to help. Adler could possibly have called that out a little more quickly. You get the ball, Mitch, but sometimes you think maybe it's not quite worth it when you take a lick like that.
Take one of those, you're setting up with her I Believe with your fuzzy hair. Gray hits this. It's interesting. No. It's going to be a walk. Foster had the board, changed his pivot to his hip. There's your foul problem now. This is a little bit serious for Chris Lowry's team.
Yeah, as long as he can keep number 1 out on the floor, he's going to be fine.
Brooks.
Quick hands right there. I mean, he's almost scored upon. You can almost guess Moss is going to score right there, and the ball gets tipped away.
Adler. No, short that time. That's going to Indiana State. That'll catch the ire of the Southern Illinois fans. Give Donnish credit for some hustle.
I thought Chris Lowry is just going to keep the ball.
You know, ever since I Believe has been on camera, we've seen an Indiana State run.
Well, I believe he's been up now. They've got the thing 49-40, another basket, and he might be up the rest of the day.
There's I Believe thinking he can get it done. I wonder if he knows a 9 seed has never beaten a 1 seed in this tournament. They hate to crush him.
I doubt that that's come to his attention yet.
Indiana State gets a bucket here. It's game on. Gray, great move, curling and hitting. He's got 10. Spoon all in the second half.
Well, now get number 34 involved a little bit, and all of a sudden, game on for sure.
Big possession for the regular season champions.
It's good to see Hairston back in the game and moving well. Apparently, that was not anything too serious.
Tatum trying to use a double screen. 9 to shoot. Brooks being defended by Gabriel Moore. And a steal. And this is going to be a foul, and 1-and-1 for Indiana State. Royce Waltman, real tricky. Lulling Southern Illinois to sleep and making the push.
And then getting I Believe. I Believe is now raised the sign.
He is believing. And Schnitker will go to the line. There he is. He's had that sign up for 2 days now. I Believe with his magic dust has turned the game around. Schnitker has 1-and-1.
You said earlier, Mitch, you put Schnitker at the line. The ankle's not a problem there. He can stand and shoot.
72% healthy or fighting the ankle. This is now a game, folks. It's a 5-point game. 6:08 to go.
This is exactly the way we played at Indiana State just about a week ago. The game was 9-10 points, and all of a sudden here came Indiana State at the end.
Southern Illinois has had answers all season long. 25 wins and just 6 losses. Tatum gets a clear out. Schnitker gets a foul, just his first.
That's a tough match right there for Schnitker.
Indiana State coming back. They believe they can come back. Brooks and a flurry of activity inside. And a foul called now. Brooks and Gabriel Moore, the 2 number 1s, lock up. The spirit of Arch Madness is here. Indiana State trying for a colossal upset bid. 5, but they trailed by 17 4.5 minutes ago. Here's the emotion of the postseason.
Here's the ball knocked loose right here, and it's not a big issue right here. A timeout by Brooks, and then we have just a little bit of a difficulty there as a freshman didn't enjoy the senior bumping him. Got the crowd in the game though, Mitch, and this is a ball game right now.
Southern Illinois 25-6. Indiana State only 11 wins, but they got their first win away from Terre Haute last night in a play-in game, beating Bradley. This is off Indiana State. 21 to shoot, and Southern Illinois will try to score off an inbounds play.
Slipped again. Tatum slipped on his cut. We've seen that. That's happened 3 times that I can recall.
Tatum. No. Gray with the rebound. Indiana State down 5 with possession. Moss has yet to score. Bad pass. I'm sorry, Moss has 2 free throws. He's got 2 points. This is 3-on-1 Indiana State. Moss, field goal.
That kills you. If you're Southern Illinois, you're pushing it down the floor. You're thinking, we're going to get an easy basket. Then the steal. Here comes the other team the other way. And now you've got a timeout Southern.
Timeout, Chris Lowry. It is a 1-possession game. Chris Lowry with his hands full, trying to get rid of the Sycamores in the quarterfinals.
Meat Box.
Royce Waltman looking on his team. Here's our Charter game reset. A reminder, in addition to digital cable and high-speed internet, Charter Communications now offers local and long-distance telephone service. For rates in your area, go 1-888-GET-CHARTER and get hooked. Right now, Royce Waltman is hooked on his team's rally. They were down 17 at 10:08 to go. It's a 1-possession game at 4:54.
Southern Illinois needs to find a way to get a basket right here.
They've gone 5.5 minutes without a field goal.
Moss doing a very, very good job on Brooks to keep him from getting the basketball, just taking him out of the equation.
After a sleepy first 30 minutes, this thing has started to really get tense. Tatum's been going at the goal. Hit that one.
Big basket right there. Big basket.
Indiana State's got to find some adrenaline here, down 5. Brooks shutting down Moss. Donish, that's going to be off Donish.
Help defense then. I believe it was Brooks, Mitch, that reached in and started all that. Be interesting to see if this is going to be a set right here, the down screen coming after this. There's the down.
It's kind of fun to watch. Brooks will guard Moss. Moss guards Brooks. That was going to be at the offhand. This is off Adler. We'll be back with Southern Illinois' inbounds play and a fresh 35 on the clock. 3:40 remaining in the game. Indiana State is giving it all they've got. Friend of this league, his untimely death, Halloween 2003. But this year, the Valley had its initial John Sanders Spirit of the Valley Award, and it went to Andy Myers, the athletic director at Indiana State, who will be retiring this year. As this is off Shaw, and no, it's off Indiana State. Evidently, Southern Illinois will keep it. But the first Spirit of the Valley Award, Royce Waltman. We'll have a new athletic director next year. Andy Myers retiring, but nice to see the Valley put in the John Sanders Spirit of the Valley Award, and it's nice that its first recipient will be Andy Myers.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. Oh, nice move by Tatum. 2 big plays by Tatum right there. The last 2 baskets.
4 big points. Jamal Tatum, the sophomore from Jeff City, Missouri, back to a 7-point lead. Indiana State has got to score this possession at 2:57 left. Adler hit a 3 earlier. No roll.
Stetson Harrison's done a very, very nice job on Gray tonight. Very nice. You've got to wonder now with Indiana State if they've got to be getting a little tired now.
I'm impressed with the second win that they showed, because they were down 17 at 10 minutes. They could have waved the white flag and headed to Terre Haute. Instead, they decided to make this a game. Oh, what a play by Brooks.
The hustle plays right now. The fresher team is getting the plays done.
Brooks came out of that mess limping. He's a little gimpy, Spoon. You see him limping to the bottom left of your screen. Now he's off the screen. He's going to go rest a while and watch Tatum go to the basket.
I wonder if he didn't bump his knee. That's what it looked like. He bumped it, but I hope that's right.
Let's take a look at this and see. He had a little twist right there. See which one he's favoring. He's still not feeling too good.
If I'd have twisted like he did, it would have been 3 days with a chiropractor just to get me back up.
That would have been 3 months in traction. 1:58 remaining in the game. 53-46, the 1 seed. Southern Illinois trying to hang on for its 26th win. Chris Lowry, the Valley Coach of the Year in his first year, looking for his 26th win. He would surpass Matt Painter's 25 he had last year when Painter's first year at Southern Illinois. Now Matt will take over at Purdue for Gene Katie, who's retiring at the end of the season.
The one thing that's been constant, Mitch, has been the defense for Southern Illinois. They've got big baskets out of Tatum the last 2 times. They've got the hustle rebounds the last 2 times. But the other situation is just the defense just does not give in.
There's times the only criticism is people say they might get a little disinterested, but they're always interested defensively. You look at a 32-game span, and they've guarded everybody they've played. Hairston for 3 and clock management.
7 on the shot clock. They ran that much time off and then hit a big 3. Goes back now to 10.
And we can wave goodbye to Indiana State, but we will do it with a load of respect because they have fought. Royce Waltman's team has fought and fought and fought.
Barring the collapse, we're down to 1 minute. It's going to take some time off the clock just to get to the 1-and-1.
Let's take a look at our Marshall Wireless call of the game, and it was 2 big buckets by Jamal Tatum.
Well, this is just Tatum on his own. This is a hard move right here. He's going to. Donish didn't really go after him hard then, but that's still somebody to shoot over when you get there.
Indiana State was fouling. Now it's a blessing to have no foul problems until you're behind. And now they got to foul him again.
Yeah.
How about David Moss? That's his 4th foul. He has 4 points.
Foul number 34.
Took 5 shots, made 1, hit 2 free throws.
And 2 of those shots, if you think the end of the half he shoots a shot, 2 of the shots came in the first 30 seconds of the second half. We've talked about this before, Mitch. He's such a solid all-around player and such a good player. Very, very unselfish. At times, you almost wish that he would just establish himself a little more because he's really good.
Right now, this is Darren Brooks' league until somebody beats him. 16 points for Brooks, 2 out of 2 at the line. 12-point win. It's going to be one of those deceiving scores. This was just a 3-point game a few minutes ago. Rebound Shaw, foul Indiana State.
The defense was there. There was a critical point. The offense, sure, Tatum hits the baskets, but the other end of the floor, the defensive end of the floor is where Southern Illinois wins the game. For Southern, you've got to hope that Hairston's ankle or whatever it was is all right, and the same thing's true with Brooks. You see Brooks and out talking to Gabriel Moore. They're obviously not upset with each other anymore, which is nice.
Peace has been made.
2 kids playing hard. So that is.
Shaw gets his first point of the game.
He's probably been wondering how you score once you get to a tournament. But he was really playing well the last 12 or 15 games.
See how he fares tomorrow. 60-46, 14-point lead inside of a minute. Indiana State's season will end at 11-20. David Moss missing that shot. Will be back. Just a junior, but Jared Adler, who fouls, will not. And it's announced our players of the game, our State Farm players of the game for Indiana State. Amani Donish, he gave him a chance to win early.
He certainly did, and we said he would have to be a presence inside. They did a great job of getting the ball into him, forced Southern to have to double team to stop him, and then when he threw it out, they just couldn't hit enough shots.
And for Southern Illinois, who else but Batman? Darren Brooks does it all, did it all.
Plays both ends of the floor. Just plays. There's not any bravado to his game. He just plays the game.
This was big. This one they couldn't score.
They get 6 points in what, 23 seconds, remember?
When Indiana State was trying to play Hickory Huskers, South Bend Central didn't have Darren Brooks. Shaw now in a free throw contest. It's 3 in a row, and the game will be misleading. The score will not tell the story. And I really admire the way Royce Waltman's troops not only battled last night, but today.
And all year.
All year. Your new athletic director in Terre Haute. Schnitker for 3. No. C.J. Smith with it. JV's get a bucket.
Pretty nice play right there.
64-46. Donish a senior, Adler a senior, playing their last game. Gabriel Moore with the 3 to make it 15.
And I like what Chris Lowry's doing right here. We've got enough.
The champions advance. The 1 seed is moving on. That young man in his first year as a Division I head coach has 26 wins. He will go to tomorrow's semifinals with a 26-6 record. He will play the winner of Northern Iowa, Southwest Missouri State in the 4-5 game. Our Rawlings play of the game. Who else? Darren Brooks. When they needed it, Darren Brooks came up with a big play.
Hustle plays, hustle plays. There were about 3 of them in a row, Mitch, when the game was in doubt. When the ball was shot, and you have to think a little of that was because Indiana State had to be fatigued.
64-49. The victors, the Egyptian Dogs from Carbondale. Southern Illinois wins at 64-49.